Hi, I'm Richard Byrne. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a simple Android app using the MIT App Inventor. This is a great tool to introduce students to some basic programming concepts, and when they're done, the app they design can actually be used on their personal Android devices. Let's go ahead and take a look at how it works. So you'll find it at appinventor.mit.edu. It's a browser-based tool. Click on Create Apps, and you can sign in and start a new project. So I'm going to start a new project here. Let's call it Cat Quiz 123. Click OK. And there it is. You'll see I'm also signed in with my Gmail account. You can sign in with any Google account or any other type of email account you want to use. Here I am with my first screen. And on the left-hand side, we have our user interface. These are all elements we can add onto the screen. Further down below, we have some more controls that we can also add in. But for now, I'm just going to worry about our user interface. So let's start by adding in a picture on our first screen. So to do that, just click and drag image over onto the screen. So I just clicked image and dragged it over onto screen 1. Now, I want to add an image. So to get an image, I'm just going to go to pixabay.com, and I found this picture of a cat. And I just went and downloaded it. You can see there it's free for commercial use, no attribution required. So I went ahead and downloaded that. And now I'm going to upload it in the media column. There's my cat picture. Click OK. And now over here under Properties, I want to select Picture, Cat. Click OK. Now it appears on my screen. Now it's also rather large on this screen, so let's adjust the height and width. And the quickest way to do this for most students is to adjust the percentage. So let's do 50, and then we'll do our width as 50 as well. That way the ratios stay the same, even though we've made the picture smaller. So next, let's put in some text below the cat picture. And to do that, we're going to go over here to Text Box and click and drag that onto our screen. Now, let's put in some text. And let's say, are you a cat or dog person? Hit enter, and there's my text. Now, you can adjust the size of the text over here. You can make it 18-point font if you want to make it larger. You notice when I did that, it cut off part of the sentence that I had written. So let's go here and let's adjust the width. I'll select Fill Parent, and there it is. Now I can see all of the text. Next, I want to add in some answer choices. I'm going to add in 2 answer choices, one for cat and one for dog. So let's go to Button. I'm going to drag Button down here, and I'm going to change the text so that it's not text for button 1. I'm going to call it Cat Person. And again, you can adjust the font sizes and font stylings if you'd like. And now I'm going to go and say button 2, Dog Person. So again, I have options for adjusting the font, but I'm not going to use them right now. I'm going to stick with what we see on the screen. So next, I need to add in a couple of more screens. I want something else to display when somebody clicks on Cat Person, and I want something else to display when someone clicks on Dog Person. So to do that, let's go and add a new screen. You can see we have just one screen right now, so let's add a new screen. And my screen is going to be called Cat Person. and I have this new screen here. And on this new screen, well, let's put in another picture of a cat. Let's get a different cat picture. Let's use this one here. Again, I'm using Pixabay because the images are free for commercial use, no attribution required. There are other websites that will provide similar images. Photosforclass.com is a great one as well. But again, I'm going to upload a cat picture. Click OK. And now I want to make sure I specify for cat person the image. So I'm going to drag over image. I'm going to select here, picture, cat. OK. We'll go here. We'll adjust our percentages again. Now, I also want to have a sound effect play here. So on the screen, we want to add in some media. You'll notice that there's no media here in the user interface. Let's go down to media, and we're going to have sound. I'm going to drag sound over, and you'll see it's a non-visible component because you don't see sounds. So we need to select a source for that sound. We need to go and find a simple MP3 that we can use in the background. So let's do this. I'm going to go to soundbible.com, which has free sound clips and sound effects you can use. Let's do a meow. There's cat meow. And we want to download that as an MP3 file. So I have cat meow. And I'm going to upload this file. There's my cat meow MP3 file. Click OK. Now we'll select our source as cat meow and click OK. So now I have some sound that can play in the background. But I want to also have some text appear on here. So let's go back to user interface, and we can apply some more text. You can write cats rule. And let's make that font a little bit bigger and change the font style. There we go. Let's make it even bigger. Make it 28-point font. There's cats rule. Let's bold that font. Let's italicize that font. We can even change the colors if we want, but I'm going to leave it as that for now. There we go, cats rule. That's really hard to see. We'll leave it back there at black. So, now I need a way to get back to the home screen, and to do that, I'm going to put in another button. Drag that one here. And again, you can reposition these all over the screen if you'd like to. To keep this simple today, I'm just putting them in their default order. I'm going to write in go back. Now, obviously, you could use the back button on your phone, but I'm going to make it obvious and have a go back button or a go home button. And there it is. So now we're going to do the same thing for a dog. We want to have another screen that has a dog. We're going to write the dog's rule. We're going to have it barking in the background, and we're going to have a home button. So let's add a new screen. Call it dog's rule. And the process is going to be the same. I now need a picture of a dog. Use my own dog if I wanted to, or I might find one of these cute dog pictures here. Hit that download button. Again, free for commercial use, no attribution required. So let's go and upload that puppy picture. There's our puppy picture. Click OK. So over here, we want to make sure that we now drag in the image. Let's select our image of puppy. Click OK. We need to adjust the size of it again, so we'll do 50. And we'll do 50 for the width. And again, I'm working with percentages rather than pixels. I find that students have an easier time working with percentage than they do with pixels because if they change the percentages equally, the images don't get distorted, whereas if they play with the pixels and they don't do an equal ratio in pixel changes, they get some distorted images. So let's now go to text box, drag that over, and of course, we're going to write dog's rule, and we're going to make our font rather large again. Let's make it 28-point font. Make it bold, italicize it. Let's use the serif font, and we can again change the colors if we'd like to as well. But we'll leave it at that. Dog's rule. Now, let's put in our button to go back. So drag that over. And now we have our Go Home button. So we now have 3 screens. We have a dog's rule, a cat person, and a screen 1. Let's go back to screen 1. We can change the name of screen 1 if we want to and call it our home. That's where we want to change it. There's our screen 1. And we can change that out. Change out anything we want about that. Title. There's our home screen. There's our home screen. So are you a cat person or a dog person? Now, this is where we start to do the programming. Because so far, all we've done is put things onto screens. Now we need to make those things actually interact with each other. And that's what we're going to do next. All right, so this is where we get into the programming of the app itself. As I said, up until now, everything was just a layout on our 3 screens. So let's go over here to blocks. This is where our programming is going to actually happen. So over here, we have blocks, and we're working with screen 1. And what we're concerned with is what happens when button 1 is tapped and when button 2 is tapped. That's all we're concerned with right now. So let's select button 1. And when I do that, we'll see a whole bunch of controls open up. We're going to use this one. When button 1 is clicked, what do we want to happen? So let's drag that over. When button 1 is clicked, now let's go to Control, and we're going to have some more options. Let's do Open Another Screen. Click that into place, and you'll hear it click in if you have your sound turned on. And now we're going to select Text, and here we're going to select this blank text. Click that into place. And inside here, we're going to write our screen name. So the screen name we want to appear when we hit button 1 is cat person. So here, let's type in cat person. Hit enter. And what's really important and really helpful in the MIT App Inventor is that over here we see that there are no warnings, meaning that our logic is working. So let's now do button 2. And when button 2 is clicked, we're going to do the same thing again. Control. And we want to open a screen. And our screen name. We're going to drag that into place. And make sure our screen name is this time Dog's Rule. And we'll see we don't have any warnings or any flags to tell us that we've done something incorrect. So far, our logic is sound. Now, we need to do this on the other screens. So let's go to cat person. And with cat person on button 1, so we select button 1. When button 1 is clicked, what do we want to happen? Well, you guessed it. We're going to open control, and we're going to open another screen name. And our screen name, I'm going to drag over. It's screen 1, also known as our home screen. Now, our sound, we want to have our sound. Right? So we want to make sure that our sound is playing. And that's what we're going to do next. So to make the sound play in the background here, let's select our cat person. And that brings up all these controls for the cat person screen. And here, we can select what we want to happen. So when cat person is initialized is what we're going to do. Right here, cat person initialized, or in other words, when it's opened, when we land on that screen, let's go to sound 1 and call sound 1 and play. And again, you'll see we don't have any warnings or any kind of error messages. So now we can do the same thing for our dog's rule screen. We're going to have our dog's rule screen. When someone clicks on button 1, which is our home button on that particular screen, we want them to be able to go back to the home screen, and we can select here our text and drag that over and type in screen 1. And again, making sure we don't have any errors down here. Now you can see you can use this logic as many times as you would want if you had more buttons. Now we're going to actually go and test out our application. So let's go back to Designer. And we have our screens here, dog's rule, cat person screen, and our screen 1, which is our home screen. We have a couple of ways that we can test this out. One way is to use the MIT App Inventor emulator, which is software that you can install on Windows and Mac computers. It does take a little while to load, and it can be a little bit clunky. You can also use a USB connection to an Android phone if you have Windows drivers installed on your Android phone. Again, a little bit of a clunky process. The easiest way to test it out is to get the AI Companion, the App Inventor Companion. The App Inventor Companion app is an actual app you can get in the Google Play Store. And you can then open it up on your phone and test it out by either scanning the QR code or entering the corresponding code. So we have the MIT App Inventor. I'm going to type in my code, EBVUYN. Make sure you're on the same Wi-Fi network. And I'm going to connect with code. You'll see it's building here. And I'll show you in just a moment on my screen what happens. So I'm going to blow this up. It's a clunky display, but you can see right there we have, are you a cat person or a dog person? And I can go home, and there we are again, cat person or dog person. So my app works. Now, I obviously need to go back in and do some refining on the sizes of my text and the sizes of my images, but it is a functioning app. And once your students master those steps that I've outlined, they can repeat them using all kinds of different pieces of logic and different pieces of user interfaces. As always, for more tips and tricks like this, please check out freetechforteachers.com or subscribe to my YouTube channel.